everyone. I'll call the order committee of the whole for Tuesday, March 26, 2024. I'll let the record show that all aldermen are present with the exception of Alderwoman Forney, who is excused. First on our agenda is the South Union Street project. We've received some updates on this. What was it, about a week ago, 2 weeks ago? We met with the engineering firm here to get an update on that project, and the mayor has asked the council to provide some direction going forward, but we do have some new information to consider here tonight. Mr. Mayor?
Yes, thank you. We did reach out to the Department of State, and the scope of the entire job was changed, so it is to franchise. The scope goes all the way to franchise. So we've had discussions with the engineering firm, and I would like to recommend tonight that we do the mill and pave as an alternate, do the no sidewalks on the west side as an alternate, and the landscaping as an alternate. And that may put us very close to the $3 million that we have for construction right now.
So I just previously reviewed the figures. If you recall, there was a recommendation that suggested we could stop at West Green Street, and that would be able to shave the $700,000 potential overrun on that project. And the state came back and said due to the changes when we were approved to move the funding from West State Street to South Union Street, that change had to incorporate the project up to Franchot Boulevard. Is it Boulevard? Is that right? So the New York State is looking for us to continue that project up until that point. I think that makes the most sense. And if you kind of crunch the numbers, I can pass this around.
784.
Yeah, it cuts out 784,000, which gets us right in line with the $3 million budget funding that we have in place, and then would allow us to go out to bid and see how they come back. If they come back in favorable, and then we can consider the alternates. Any questions? Alderwoman McCall?
Does that include the allow for the 10 to 15% that you have to, that they want to set aside for if there's overages?
I believe so. It does not? You don't believe so?
No, that $3 million was the fully funded. That
Still,
you have to come down 15 more to have the slush.
I'm still waiting for an answer from DOT. The question's been posed to them. I'm waiting for an answer to them. The question that was asked is, would that be in their road if they will consider doing the mill and pave on that, or when they would consider doing a mill and pave. So I haven't got an answer yet. I'm still waiting on that answer.
Do we know what the city share is at work, or is that all grant money?
That's 100%. I think it's like $2,950,000. It's just slightly shy of $3 million of grant funding that we have
So it's,
from New York State.
so the city could be on the hook for 450 and then 15%.
Should it go over $3
Should
million?
go over, yeah.
So, I guess, I think, Sonia, what you're talking about is the engineering firm suggested that we, to play it safe, try to get it even 15% below $3 million, right? Which, considering the amount of work that is going to be done, I think it really would remove some of the major intentions and scope of the project to cut anything further back. And on a $3 million project, if it ends up being, slightly over, I think that's something that the city should consider as an investment into that region. Alderman Benyon?
Just with the recent conversation, Bill, could water line replacement be added as an alternate?
I don't know why not. Yeah, I don't know why not. What we didn't want to do here was engineering firm said, well, we'll have to go back and re-engineer everything, and there would be another change order. And that would be quite, be more expense on us. So what we're trying to do is fit within that to do alternates with not a lot of change orders by the engineering firm. Now, in there, I'm sorry I don't have the answer, maybe one of you will remember. When he gave the presentation, we wanted to reduce the 10-foot wide to 8 foot.
That was already in there.
Is that in there?
That was already calculated in the numbers he gave us, he said.
Okay, so, yeah, but we don't want to take it down to 5. We can't take it down to 5. And it doesn't meet the scope of the job. But to answer your question, that's something I can ask, so.
I think it's worthwhile to get a price tag on that at least.
Yeah, because I wouldn't think it would cost a lot more in engineering. They're already planning on taking the sidewalk off, and I believe they're down underneath there, so that's why I asked.
Okay, so any reservations about, so could we add that as a potential fourth alternate then when we?
I'll get that tomorrow. I'll get a hold of, Dave, who's on this one, David,
Hastings.
Hastings, yeah.
Okay. All right, any other comments or questions? So I think the council is in favor of that, going forward, so, is there any formal direction or action that you need on our behalf, or can we move forward with that?
We can move forward, so we have the consensus, yes.
Okay. All right, very good. Moving along, PL 33-24 by Mayor Ilio to authorize the mayor to sign and submit a grant application to the Department of Homeland Security Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, through the Staffing for Fire and Emergency Response, the SAFER Grant Program for funding associated with the hiring of new additional firefighters. Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, we have, Chief, would you please speak on this?
So this is the SAFER grant. It's termed, it's one of the main fire grants that come out of FEMA, this one and the AFG one we talked about last month. This one is specifically for staffing. So it used to be that they would only pay a certain percentage of the wages and benefits. They actually changed the scope of the grant, so now it pays for 100% of the salary and benefits for however many firefighters we request for 3 years. It is very competitive though, so I think our chances are not the best at getting the grant, but I think I should go for it anyways. So I would be requesting 4 positions under this grant. Total cost, completely the federal share of the grant would be just under $1 million.
Okay. Comments or questions? Alderwoman McCall?
So in there, I'm guessing that there is something that says that we will continue to fund the positions after the money runs out from.
There are questions about how we will sustain,
Yes, that we would sustain the
but it is
positions,
not a
right?
requirement.
Because it's not a requirement of the grant that we would sustain them?
No, it's not a requirement. They would like us to try, and if we can get creative with other funding sources, sure.
Okay.
But it is not a requirement to apply.
Alderman Robinson?
Chief, you mentioned 4 employees.
Yes.
If I remember right, you were down 2. Is the other 2 to cover for future retirements?
Yes, right now we have 2 vacancies that we'll be planning on filling this year that are contained in my budget proposal that I've already given you. These 4 under the grant are additional.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Okay. So just as a clarification, Chief, when other firefighters retire, would it be possible, do we have to backfill those positions, or would these positions be able to backfill those positions?
My understanding is that they would be able to backfill.
All right. Very good. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain the sponsor.
I'll sponsor.
All right, motion is made by Alderman McCall. I'll go ahead and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried and is referred to the regular meeting Tuesday, April 9th, 2024 for resolution. So the only reason I had asked that be moved out that way, if anybody has any further questions, they can follow up with the chief and the mayor between now and then. Okay? And that does give you plenty of time to apply for this. Is that right, chief? What's the deadline on this?
I think the deadline is April 12th.
Will that give you enough time to apply?
I'm writing it now, I just won't hit submit until I get your approval.
Okay. So, okay, very good. I'll make a motion to adjourn the committee of the whole. So I have a second, seconded by Alderman Robinson. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We are adjourned. I'll call to order the regular meeting of the Common Council for Tuesday, March 26, 2024. Will the clerk please call the attendance roll?
Alderman Benyon.
Here.
Alderman Panis.
Here.
Alderwoman Forney. Alderwoman McCall.
Here.
Alderman Robinson.
Here.
Alderman Anastasia.
Here.
And President Cross.
Here, please rise for the invocation and the pledge of allegiance.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer to this group, and nurture the bonds of this community. In your name we pray.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, reading, correcting, and approval of minutes of the previous regular meeting.
Regular meeting of the Olean Common Council was held on Tuesday, March 12, 2024 at 6:05 p.m. Present were Alderman Crawford, Benyon, Panis, Forney, McCall, Robinson, and Anastasia. None were absent.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the previous regular meeting? Moved by Alderman Benyon, can I get a second? Second by Alderman Anastasia, sorry. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Committee reports and unfinished council business.
None?
Communications from the mayor.
Thank you. We have a proclamation to total senior care, it's a special proclamation for they've been here for 15 years now. So Frank, if you would read that.
Special proclamation for total senior care. Whereas the Board of Directors of the former Home Care and Hospice received a competitive federal grant in 2006 to open the first rural program of all-inclusive care for the elderly, known as PACE, in New York State. Whereas Total Senior Care, a program of PACE, opened its Olean doors in 2009 with the goal of helping participants manage health-related concerns and home care needs, as well as providing emotional support and transportation to the center and medical appointments. Whereas Total Senior Care helps to prevent or delay institutionalization for nursing home eligible seniors and allows participants to stay in their own homes and visit the center as needed. Therefore, I, William J. Alio, Mayor of the City of Olean, on the 19th day of March 2024, do hereby congratulate Total Senior Care for celebrating their 15-year anniversary. And furthermore, I extend my sincerest gratitude to Total Senior Care employees who serve our local elderly population with professionalism and compassion. Their well-planned, committed approach to care is a much-needed service that makes Olean a great place for all of us to live and raise a family. For the City of Olean, New York, signed William J. Alio, Mayor.
And this was presented to Total Senior Care on the 19th at an open house they had. And tonight we have Mimi Yanetsko, Roxanne Padlo, and Sarah Negron here to receive this proclamation.
None?
City official reports,
None?
proposed legislation and referrals.
PL number 31-24 by Mayor Halio, referred to regular meeting Tuesday, March 26th for resolution by Council President. PL number 32-24 by Mayor Halio, referred to regular meeting Tuesday, March 26th, 2024 for resolution by Council President. PL number 33-24 by Mayor Halio, referred to Committee of the Whole Tuesday, March 26, 2024 by Council President.
All right, very good. So before I open it up for public comment, I'd like to give an opportunity to any of the council members to make a statement at this time. Okay. Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to please read the public comment statement.
The public comment portion of the Common Council regular meeting is established to provide members of the community with the opportunity to publicly state their views, voice their concerns, or to provide input pertaining to any issue affecting city government. Additionally, the mayor, common council members, and city department heads encourage any person with questions to contact them at their offices.
All right, because we have a little bit of a larger group here tonight than usual, what I would ask is to give me an idea, how many individuals would like to partake in public comment tonight? How many would like to speak at public comment? Okay, all right, typically we use 5 minutes. I think we can keep to that. If everybody raises their hand, then we try to adjust that, okay? So before I invite you forward to public comment, I understand that many of you are here to speak on behalf of the Oates busing service, and so I'd like to just say on behalf of the Common Council that we do support and believe the importance of local transportation and community-wide busing service, and I'm sure the administration is doing everything they can to try to ensure that there's something sustainable in the future. So I would invite members, just so you're aware, this is not typically a question and answer forum. It's public comment, so at this time I would invite you to approach the podium, state your name and address for the record, please, and you'll have 5 minutes.
Yeah, go George, yeah. What about go Larry? Come on, Larry, get up.
You guys
All
decide,
right.
you can decide which one goes first.
Okay, we had a week and a half notice about,
Yep.
right? Anyways,
So, I'm sorry for, could you state your name for the record?
oh, I'm sorry,
Your
I'm
name and address
Georgianne,
for the record.
okay, I'm Georgianne Lamberson. I live at 313 North 15th Street in the projects.
I'm Larry Ordway. I live at 111 North Clinton Street. We did a petition out here, and we got 503 people signed.
And it's not to go against the city.
Just trying.
We want to thank you for having it so long,
Yeah.
but we know we need it because we went to the transit meeting last week sometime, and we just, in a week and a half's notice, we've got over 504 people signing it,
Yeah.
just to show that we have support of it. When I was at this transit meeting, they said there was 6,900 people in 1 year using it. And it's not just that there's 6,000 people at one. It's like he might ride twice a week, I might ride 3. But what it does is, it shows the need. We have only, I think, 2 cabs in the county that run for wheelchair
Yeah.
and that. The people use it for a lot of the programs. We're just trying to get somebody, some agency or the county, somebody to speak up for us. We've got copies if you want the petitions that we have. We have it on a flash drive or a paper unit. What we did is we opened it for those that ride the bus or those that want to support it because they see that the programs, what are we going to do with the program if people when they don't have transportation? We desperately need it. The bus doesn't just stay in. You can catch Olean and you could go up to the Buffalo bus here in Olean, and you can go up into Children's Hospital, you can get to the General Hospital. A lot of people in this area don't have that, so they pay cab fare or have medical transport. but medical transport can't keep up. We've got a lot of people that are sickly in our area. So it's not, we want to thank the city of Olean for holding it so long. But we realize that we've got a lot more people doing it now, and we need financial support. We hope you guys that if you hear somebody say they want the bus, we want it. Oh, okay, this is only a very minute group of them, and they go to dialysis sometimes, they go grocery shopping. But one person at the state meeting said, how come we don't have people at the meeting? Well, if you take the bus, like we're all here tonight, there's no bus later tonight. Everybody that's here, if they don't have a car or ride home, they're walking home. So, I mean, that's why participation in people going places, it's hard to get there. It's hard. The state one that they had for the county, all the transit, I think there was only 2 other people, and they were all businesses and things. The reason is, you can't get there and back, and it's not because we don't support the things. So.
Yep.
Right, Larry? I mean, how many?
Right, that's very true.
Been all over, so thank you for listening. And
Yeah.
I don't know how many people would like to have something to speak in the group. Oh, I don't know, I'm done.
Whenever you're done, you can just take a seat and someone
Yeah.
else can
Okay,
come up there.
thank you.
very much. Thank you.
Good evening, gentlemen, ladies. My name is Rick Kaufman. I live at 219 South Union Street. And I've only been an Olean resident for 3 years now, I think. But I ride the bus, I'm 76, I ride the bus a lot, 3 times a week for either health reasons or for going to the hospital. And I've met a lot of great people on the bus as well. And I've found that Olean is a great city, and there's a lot of things going on. So I'm really appreciative when I came here for the first time. I didn't know what to expect, but I will say because I lived overseas, I know what it's like living overseas, and now coming here to a smaller city, I'm very surprised about the way it looks and the people that are really nice here and all that. But to the point, about the bus system here, I'm kind of disappointed that Representative Langworthy isn't here. I want to see better representation for the people that are in public office for proposals. And this is my first time here at this particular meeting, so I'm now introducing myself to you, so thank you for inviting me here. But I also like to take a moment to investigate, because this is a citywide thing. I also believe it's not only for Olean, but for the governor to take some response to this. And so far, I don't see anything happening other than I sent them a couple of emails already, and of course you get a form letter back saying it's a great city, great state, and all this kind of thing, but see you later, that kind of thing. But I just want to read you what I wrote to them, and it may not strike a chord with you or not, but I just want to make a public statement as far as that's concerned. I appreciate your correspondence. This is to the governor. However, the original question remains that after your 2024 State of the Union speech that you promised the state with better outlook for public transportation. I live in New York, Olean, but the Common Council is shutting down public transportation as of May 31st. Now, whether that's true or not, I mean, that's what I've heard. It sounds like it is. So, but here's what the Common Council states, and this is directly from your PDFs that you're online. The expected amount of federal operating assistance is not adequate to continue the operation of OATS past May 31st, 2024. I get that. So the reason we're all here is for proposals and action taking. This also means that the town of Olean and its people will be unable to receive public transportation service for getting to work, for shopping, to get to local universities for higher education, for those that need hospital care at Olean General, and for the handicapped and wheelchair dependent. The Olean Area Transit Authority, OATS, covers an area between the cities of Allegheny, St. Bonaventure University, Salamanca, Jamestown Community College, and west to the Portville line. taxi fare is outrageous. If you want to take a taxi just to go 1 or 2 miles to go shopping at Walmart or wherever, it costs you $10 to $15 each way. I mean, which is kind of ridiculous. Instead of telling people of Olean about a shutdown of transportation services, they should also express their solution possibilities, but haven't thus far as I know. But this is why we're here. We're listening for possibilities for solutions. I would also like to see some action taken from our congressional representatives, such as Representative Langworthy and others, to save the respective districts with answers to proposals of actions that can be taken at the federal level, since that was a federal something or other that will not be an adequate amount of money to continue funding for the OAT system. I just want to ask the governor, can you offer any assistance in this matter? And that was my statement to Governor Kathy Hochul. So I just want to offer that to people out in the open public, that we are concerned, and it's more than just me as a senior citizen. It's for the handicapped, for young people, and there's many other people that are represented here. So I just want to offer my statement as far as a new Olean citizen, and thank you very much.
Thanks, sir. I invite anybody else. Anyone else?
I'll come.
Okay, my name's Christine Van Horn, and I live at 510 3rd Avenue. And I just want to stress the importance of having a bus service here. I have a 95-year-old mother that I have to get to the doctors, and she can only get on the bus because she's wheelchair bound. And I know there's a lot of other people that need to access the bus service. She also uses for entertainment. She goes to church. I take her to lunch. So it's very important. And I think if you want to have a thriving Olean, which I think you all do, you need a bus service, or else you're going to just see it decline. And I must say I'm a little disappointed because I think everybody should come together to find a solution to be proactive and not just have a select group of people decide they're going to dump the service and just not even consult with the people that ride it, that use it. You just have a small group that say, well, we don't want to do it anymore. We don't want to be bothered. We want someone else to do it. So I think I'm a little disappointed in that, how this was all handled. And you just see it in the paper. Well, we're just going to stop the bus service. And where does that leave us? What do I tell my 95-year-old mother, that she can't get out anymore? So this should have all been handled a long time ago. Problem solved, be proactive, come together with solution, not just decide we don't want to do it anymore. A select group of people say they don't want to do it anymore. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Debbie McCarthy. I live down here in the corner of South 2nd Street. I agree with comments that's been made by some of these other people for various reasons. We've lived here in Cat County now for a little over 7 years, Olean for just over 5.5. I originally am from Allegheny County where they have the ACT bus. And there were several times living in Allegheny County that I would take the ACT bus over here to Olean to catch the OATS bus, to do shopping, to go to doctor's appointments, to various other reasons for me coming over. My daughters take the bus to work. They take, my grandson has doctor's appointments where they live, up here on Alder Street, if anybody are familiar with the Alder Court. He goes to the middle school. He's 11 years old. His mother works at the school now. Before that, she worked at Big Lots. Now, she has health problems herself. She does the best she can, but there are times that the bus has come in very handy for her to get to doctor's appointments or get him to where he's got to be. My late husband rode a bus, not only to connect with ACT when we went over to visit one of our daughters, but also for medical reasons or for shopping reasons. So, it's a very necessary thing. and I do agree with the comment that we had very short notice as regular riders. And I ride the bus sometimes anywhere from 2 to maybe 4 or 5 times a week. That's Monday through Saturday. So, you know, we got a very short notice with no discussion. It's just, by the way, the bus is shutting down May 31st. What happened to the idea of asking the riders, you know, look, we're running into issues. Okay, you guys have all, you know, politicians are very busy people. And, you know, well, I've got a lot of stuff to do. I've got a lot of stuff on my plate. Okay, so do the rest of us. Maybe it's varying reasons. We might have different things other than an office job or something like that. We might have different things. But those things are still just as important to us as your jobs are to you. You stop and think, and I'm sure the chief would, you know, over there would agree. You take any one of you that, you know, goes there. What happens if you don't have a vehicle? Your vehicle breaks down. Now, some of you might have a spare vehicle, or you might have a spouse or a friend or something who says, yeah, sure, I can stop by, and, you know, I can swing by and pick you up. What if you live outside that area and you have to get to work? Regardless of what the weather is, you've got to get to work and you have no other way to get to work. Okay, some of you, well, that's just it, you know, I'll just call in. I'll just tell them, oh, sorry, I can't make it today, weather's bad. I know people right now that live in Pennsylvania that have come over here to catch the bus to do some of their business that they have to do because it's too expensive for them to drive the whole way. I agree, you know, I agree there are issues. Okay, how about this? Allegheny County runs its buses Monday through Friday. Yes, it's ACT, it's Allegheny County Transit. They've been in business for over 20 years. I know, I rode the bus since it started. You know, you have issues no matter what you're gonna do, whether it's taxis or what. Allegheny County no longer has its own taxi because of financial issues that made it impossible for a taxi cab to keep running. And they'd had a taxi for just about all of my life. And we're safe to say that I qualify as a senior citizen, even though I don't like to admit it. But you know, it's just the idea. You need a bus system. We've talked amongst ourselves, and most of us have come up with, you know, some ideas that way. What I seem to hear mainly is we don't want to have it. You know, it's not that we don't want to have it. We just don't want to deal with it anymore. We don't have enough money coming in. You know, there's various financial reasons. Okay, here's a couple of ideas. The county right now does, if you're on Medicaid or food stamps, you get a free bus pass. Okay, I get one, you know, and it comes in very handy. I'm one of the people that if necessary, I can afford to buy a bus pass. Not everybody in the city can. Some of them, they're lucky if they can afford to make sure their rent's paid, their mortgage payments paid, or their bills are paid, let alone having to fork out the money for a bus pass. So getting the free bus pass is a definite help to them. If you take other people like that, and we've talked amongst ourselves, you know, if it's something like, well, we need money, okay, here's an idea. You know, maybe rework the idea of the free bus pass. Maybe do some restrictions on it, you know, you have to meet this, this, and this criteria in order to qualify for it. Or for those of us that are financially able to, it's $30 a month. Some of us might think that's a lot, but, you know, we'd be willing to try and find some more money. If you say, well, you know, look, we're gonna have to raise the cost of the bus pass. We just don't have it. We're gonna have to raise the cost of the bus pass. Okay, might be a pain in the butt for us, but those of us that need the bus, you better believe we're gonna try and do some creative financing or whatever, try and come up with the money we need to buy that bus pass. Right now, it's $1. Your fare is $1, unless you're you're disabled or you're senior, it's 50 cents. Now, I've been in the state sometimes where, you know, even coming up with 50 cents sometimes has been difficult.
You're at 5 minutes, ma'am. Just want
So-
to make sure everybody has
Yeah.
a chance.
So, you know, as I say, consider creative financing.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Anyone else?
Barbara Spencer. I live at 132 North Union Street in Olean. I was surprised when I read in the paper about the bus situation. I would say it was pretty well documented that the need in the area and the needs of the people regarding, shopping and particularly medical, etc. That's pretty well been indicated. My question was that I read, and I do not know if it's true, that we're the only county in western New York that does not have transportation of that nature, a bus system. And I thought, well, if that's the case, it means, excuse me, it isn't very high on our list of priorities, because if everybody else considers it's important to have a bus system, that must be high enough up that they're taking care of that. And I would suggest that maybe we should make it higher on our list of priorities instead of saying, well, it's easier just to say, well, we can't afford it, we won't have it anymore, and that's the end of that. And I'm embarrassed to even think that our county is the only one that doesn't have a bus system now. After a few months, to me, that begs for, at the very minimum, approaching some of the other counties and saying, how do you afford your bus system? So at least maybe we'll get some more ideas on some positive ways to make it a little higher on our just agenda and of a possibility in achieving that expenditure.
Thank you very much.
I'm Rob Bowers, 1512 River Street. The city loop driver for the bus. I see that I bring plenty of people to medical appointments. Granted, they'll probably be able to take now, what is it, Worris or whatever, if there's enough available. As far as shopping, a lot of senior citizens, they don't understand how to use DoorDash. From what I understand, the county and the city are trying to work together. The city don't want to do it, I get that. You are getting your money, from what I understand, most of it. You say you're 560 down, they're sending you 482. It's just, should you work out a deal with the county, is there a way that you can continue, because the county says it takes 6 months to a year to switch everything over. So are you willing to step up and say, well, they're gonna take it over, we'll go that 4 months, 8 months, whatever it'll be.
It's really needed.
Yeah,
And you guys need to keep employment too.
well,
Yeah.
I mean,
There's 8
I
buses.
go to work somewhere else.
Anyone else?
Yeah, one more.
Hi, my name is Vicki Waite. I live at 176 River Street, Salamanca. I guess I'm the outlying bus stop representative here. Apologies. To whom it may concern, it's a shame you feel the need to discontinue the Oates bus, as it is a lifeline for so many. Without it, many will lose their jobs, both Oates employees and those who take the bus to get to and from their jobs. As a result, many of these individuals could face an inability to pay bills, buy food, homelessness, the list goes on. Others who feel this loss are the people who rely on the bus to get to and from their appointments, be they medical or otherwise. The disabled people, of which my husband, who's not here, and myself, we rely on this bus system in order to get to the store or the food pantry. Others too also rely on the bus for the same things. The Oates bus system is a necessity that helps bring the community together. It's available to anyone, young and old alike. It gives many a sense of independence because it allows them to get out and about and to go where they need to. For so many, life without the bus will become extremely difficult, if not impossible, to accomplish basic tasks that so many with cars take for granted. To lose the Oates bus system would be to lose so much more than a few buses. It's what they represent, too. Those of us who rely on the bus will feel the loss immensely in our basic daily lives. It will mean a loss of income for some, a way to reach important appointments, a way to get groceries, and a way to get to their doctor, and so on. The bus means so much to so many that its loss would be a travesty and would be felt economically and socially for the communities that the bus travels through as well. For example, the stores that people stop at to go shopping. A social worker friend of mine, just before this meeting, sent me some information, some data pertaining to the bus system. I'd like to share that data with you. Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties are the top 10 poorest counties in the state of New York. Many of the Amish communities rely on the bus system for especially medical transportation. In some communities, that means nearly 3/4 of the population rely on the bus services. Outside options like Uber aren't terribly accessible in rural areas, and residents of our county are considered rural residents as far as any kind of grant work goes. Food insecurity also is a big concern for our area, and having a reliable public transportation system is key to reducing food poverty. And nursing homes often rely on the bus system to start discharging residents, as they don't have any other means to travel. She goes on to say, without a good public transportation system, basic needs issues handled by area social workers are going to skyrocket. To whom it may concern, take away your cars, your means of freedom. The bus becomes your only way to get to work, to get groceries, to get to anything you need to get to. Now take away the bus. You are now left with nothing. No job means potentially getting your utility shut off, losing your home, and more. And if you think a cab is a feasible option, consider this. From Salamanca to Olean alone, one way, $50. We can't afford that. Furthermore, doctors don't always have openings to get seen quickly. I got a sinus infection last week and there was no openings to be seen. With the bus people, both individuals and parents with kids, they can go get medical help. Without the bus, how many people are going to be able to work due to illness? How many kids are going to miss school because they're too sick? And all because they had no way to get to a doctor. In short, the Oates bus system is a necessary and integral part of our environment. With its extinction, many will suffer the consequences. Put yourselves in our shoes. Can you survive without the bus? Perhaps. Perhaps not. Many rely on that bus system, and many will be left struggling to get by without it. We need the Oates bus system to remain up and running. We also appreciate the fact that you have given it to us, that you allow us to continue to be able to use it, and we would like for that to continue on into the future as well. Thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone else?
I have some materials that need to be distributed to you folks. Can I hand them out?
Yes, please.
I'm handing out now the flood maps that signify in everybody's appraisal report if you bought a property in Olean where you kind of can and cannot. And I have a special distribution as well because it only seems fair that everybody here should have a chance to have 3 cones in front of them, because I have had 3 cones in front of my house because of the need to take care of getting our sidewalks handicap accessible. Very important, especially if you're going to be in a wheelchair and need to get to the bus. At the corner of North Union and East Pine, you can call the bus in advance and they'll stop right there, which is good because we have spent $15,000, plan to spend another $20,000 to help make our corner accessible for people who are in wheelchairs, which, as everybody knows, requires expanding doorways and flattening things out. And so if we're watching, this is 1324 North Union. And unfortunately, for 5 months, we have had, due to what could only be described as a detaining, the city came by and cut out all of the sidewalks to make them handicap accessible, but in doing so, they disturbed the foundation of a building that's 150 years old, that is the residence of 12 of our professionals. On the 5th of April, Bill Alio has said he's going to meet me at this corner so that we can finally get this work done. I had been called about the possibility of a lawsuit, but that's the last thing on anyone's mind. When the city came out to do this work, I applauded the ability for handicap accessibility, and I looked forward to asking the city to make the regular bus stop right here at this corner. We've made the investment to help our citizens on wheels and with handicap accessibility. Without the rebuilding of this corner, if you'll look closely at that flood map, that squarely puts us in a bad situation. And since this property has sat there for 150 years, and we do need these sidewalks, without the correct retaining wall, I can't fill back in the dirt and then cover it with the asphalt, which will keep my foundation dry so we can continue to be a great place to call home in Olean for people who are in the under $800 a month rent range. I really appreciate it, and I would ask everybody on the council, if you have a chance, Bill Alio has agreed to come over on April the 5th at 10 o'clock to let me know how that's going to be recreated. I would greatly appreciate it if everyone on council could show up, or please speak to him about our need to take care of our community so we can continue to serve one of our largest populations, which is those people receiving an SSI distribution. Without the opportunity to offer them transportation, they're not going to choose this community for their housing. And without taking care of this corner, you might be really destroying my business. Bill, I look forward to that meeting, and I'm hoping that we will be getting this taken care of quickly. Thank you for your time.
I'm sorry, who are you?
My name is John Dahlgren. I live at 1324 North Union, where I own that property, and that's the Union Apartments. You can reach us locally at
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dahlgren. Do you want your little cones back, or can we keep these?
I would love for each of you to keep them and put them on a corner of your property. If you like those.
Thank you, Mr. Dahlgren. We're all set. Anybody else? Thank you. Anyone else? At this time, I'll call public comment closed. Who's the alderman on? Dave, April 5th, 10 o'clock.
Okay, I'll see you there.
I'll be there. All right. Anyone else from the council? None? Okay, let's move along here. Finance and bills.
The auditor has processed bills and claims against the city of Olean as per list submitted to each alderman and recommends payment thereof. Whereas the auditor has presented to the common council bills and claims against the city of Olean totaling $6,662,488.59 for the budget and recommends payment thereof. Now therefore be it resolved that the same be and are hereby audited and allowed, and the auditor is hereby authorized and directed to draw warrants for the payment thereof at the amount set opposite each respective claim.
All right, we've all received finance and bills. I'd like to ask any of the aldermen at this time if they have any questions. Seeing none, I'll entertain a sponsor. All right, sponsored by Alderman Anastasia and seconded by Alderman Benyon. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Benyon?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Alderman Benyon. Alderman Panis?
Yes.
Alderwoman Forney? Alderwoman McCall?
Yes.
Alderman Robinson?
Yes.
Alderman Anastasia?
Yes.
And President Crawford?
Yes.
Motion passes.
On to resolutions.
Resolution number 33-24, PL number 32-24. Resolution authorizing the transfer of funds. I'm sorry. Excuse me, I missed one. Resolution number 32-24, PL number 31-24. Resolution to rescind resolution number 25-24.
All right, so we were notified of some discrepancies that were included in that bid for the EV charging station project. Mr. Mayor, do we have an idea as far as a timeline goes that we can, will this be required to go back out to bid?
Yes, yes. Right now, we are waiting for the state to give us a contract, and once we get the contract, then it'll go back out to bid.
Okay, very good. All right, are there any comments or questions? All right, seeing none, I'll go ahead and make a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, motion is made and seconded. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Benyon?
Yes.
Alderman Panis?
Yes.
Alderwoman McCall?
Yes.
Alderman Robinson?
Yes.
Alderman Anastasia?
Yes.
And President Crawford.
Yes.
The resolution passes 6 with 1 abstention. Resolution number 33-24, PL number 32-24. Resolution authorizing the transfer of funds from line item 1989.454 to newly created capital fund number 233, Charter Review Commission.
All right, so we've all been given this update as well, that for the legal expertise and guidance to help the charter committee through the process will cost $28,500. And so it looks like, Mayor, it looks like you were able to find that within the budget and the current budget as asked, and that's what we're appropriating. Is that correct?
Yes, the recommendation of Alderman Benyon. Lance was able to work that out and take it out of that account, and it goes in now the new Charter Commission special account.
Okay, very good. Are there any comments or questions? Okay. I don't know if that might be the first high five I've ever seen at the council table in 8 years. So that was beautiful. All right, any other comments or questions on this? Seeing none, I'll entertain a sponsor. Motion is made by Alderman Benyon and seconded by Alderwoman McCall. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Benyon?
Yes.
Alderman Panis?
Yes.
Alderwoman McCall?
Yes.
Alderman Robinson,
Yes.
Alderman Anastasia,
Yes.
and President Crawford.
Yes.
Resolution passes 6 ayes, no nays.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. Could I get a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Panis. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.